Good day to you. My name is Vincent and I feel privileged to have been a health professional and engineer for more than 30 years. I've enjoyed property development, solving problems on a budget, specialist home brewing, programming computers, and I'm committed to completing my work on making excavators more useful. I'm here today to offer you Safervac, a patent pending, much safer way to vacuum clean our buildings. I aim to use some of the proceeds to fund good causes, including respite for the homeless and other people down on their luck in UK and Ireland, to help them reintegrate with society. I suspect that you are tired of COVID, but the truth is that we need to do all we can to rid our countries of this infection. It also looks like it's going to be an infection we have to live with rather than totally eradicate. I once gave advice to a distraught grandmother who reported the worst case of threadworms I'd ever even imagined. In spite of seeing 3 doctors and a specialist, she reported that she had worms crawling out of her clothing onto her neck. The worse the problem became, the more she vacuum cleaned her mattress and her home. My advice once I got my head around the problem was for her to get some help and to extend the vacuum cleaner hose and place the cleaner outside the bungalow building. What a great outcome. A few weeks later, she let me know that life was back to normal and she was happily seeing her grandchildren again. Now, threadworm eggs have to get from the surfaces on which they lie back to the mouth to start the life cycle again. A lot like threadworm eggs, coronavirus, other organisms and allergens can harm us if they are transferred from surfaces such as floors through to the air that we breathe to access our lungs. And bearing in mind that the floor is the largest surface area in any property, it poses a significant risk if the vacuum cleaner cannot contain the pathogens. Particulates such as viruses and allergens are not really visible, so they won't be seen being discharged from a vacuum cleaner. But not visible does not mean not present. Now, let's take a little look at a video showing emissions from a vacuum cleaner where the filter just isn't working. It takes a special arrangement of lights, including lasers, against a black background to be able to see talcum powder passing through the vacuum cleaner into the exhaust air. I find it amazing that there's this invisible world that we have to try and understand to protect ourselves. The biggest threats to us are more difficult to see. I've illustrated this with a small demonstration. Fine cotton thread is barely visible to the naked eye. We would need to magnify about 1,000 times to get it to fill our screen with its diameter. So what else might be visible to the naked eye should we zoom in to look? Well, there's 6-pound fishing line at 127 microns diameter, and then we reach the 100 micron visibility threshold, beyond which particles are invisible to humans. Let's zoom in further to the invisible world and meet some of the dangers that lurk there. First in line, coming in at approximately 55 microns in diameter, are the eggs of the threadworm. Not known to be harmful, but try telling that to the lady who had the adults crawling onto her neck. At 10 microns is small pollen, known to be harmful for those with allergies to pollen. The coronavirus, without being in a droplet, is 0.1 of a micron. That's a tenth of the size of coronavirus in a droplet and a 550th of the size of a threadworm egg. That's pretty amazing. The coronavirus, without being in a droplet, is 0.1 of a micron. That's a tenth of the size of coronavirus in a droplet and a 550th of the size of a threadworm egg. That's pretty amazing. Try and stop that from spreading from a vacuum cleaner. Let's now zoom in further to face the coronavirus, which is the monster we need to eradicate from our homes and workplaces. We need to clean floors with a safer vacuuming process, using suitable disinfection before discharging the contaminated waste well away from all people. Portable vacuum cleaners are machines that we use regularly without really questioning their risks to us. We don't clean our kitchen surfaces, then spray the contaminated contents into the air for everybody to breathe. So we shouldn't allow our vacuum cleaners to do a similar thing. We cannot and we should not rely on filters in portable vacuum cleaners to protect us. Instead, we need a process to disinfect and then expel the waste from the floor and the portable vacuum cleaner to the outside of the building or to an unused room, which we can then clean and or ventilate further before reusing the room. So the solution here is Safervac, which will do for portable vacuum cleaners what some static centralized vacuum cleaners do, which is discharge the waste to an unused space or to the exterior of the building. And that's what is suggested on Wikipedia when discussing allergens, and I'll just quote it. Despite progress in filtration systems for vacuum cleaners, central vacuums that vent outdoors or into a non-living space are preferable for individuals with allergies or asthma because they prevent indoor emissions altogether. And this is what Safervac does.